Look at that. The sheet bent up.
Oh, it gone. There's a piece of piston stuck in the oil pump. I have to look up the torque specs on that. I thought it was a but it might be a instead of you know what I mean.
Can I drive it now, Mark? Can I drive it now, Mark?
No.
We'll start, Mark.
You guys watching for me?
Oh, Mark. This is great.
Welcome back to the shop. We're out here working on my dad's 1995 Jeep YJ. This is part 3 of hopefully a 3-part series, because tonight we're going to start putting the motor back together so that we can get it stabbed in this coming weekend. My dad is bringing a couple of my brothers, and they're going to help me put this back in the Jeep this weekend, so we got to get it ready to go in. So first thing we got to do is start to get this new clutch opened and put onto that motor. Oh wait, no, we got some stuff to do, so we'll be back. I showed you guys this last time. This spring here is broken. The clutch material is worn out. It's just not worth saving. Pilot bearing is pretty dry. There's not a whole lot of grease in there. It comes with pilot bearing, friction disc, alignment tool, and then a release bearing, spline lubricant, and then a pressure plate. So that is what we needed to start putting this guy back together. Let's do it. We got a lot done tonight. We didn't bring you in much to show you, but this is what we got going on. The new release bearing is in. That's all prepped. Wasn't much to do in there because it just needed a new release bearing, and that's pretty much it. We also got the clutch on. We have the spline engagement is good. Clutch is on. Flywheel's on. Replacement pilot bushing is on. Valve cover is done. Intake manifold is on. Exhaust manifold is on. That pretty much wraps it up. The rest we will do once we get it in the Jeep, which is mainly just wiring and plumbing and like things like putting the power steering and the alternator and things like that back on. But all of that can happen after it's in the Jeep. The next step here is, like I mentioned earlier, my dad's going to come over on Saturday, bring a couple of my brothers, and that will help us just kind of ease this thing in there, because it's not the easiest thing to put the transmission shaft into the clutch from the engine side. So putting the engine into a transmission that's sitting there in a manual transmission like this is kind of difficult, because if you don't have it lined up straight, the holes will bind up and you can either damage your pilot bushing, your input shaft, or a bunch of other things that can happen there. So the more hands, many hands light work. You know the deal.
72 hours later.
It could have been forever on recorded, Drew. That was so good.
Well, we just missed a good joke by Drew, but it's Saturday morning. All of my brothers are here. My dad's here, and Harlan's going to help. And we're going to put that engine in the Jeep. So I'm going to put the camera on the hood, and we'll go from there.
Here we go.
I don't know why I'm talking to the camera. Most of my audience is in the room.
That's where you had it.
Yeah.
I was wondering where you had it.
That's why I can keep it in the engine. You don't usually do it this way. You usually put the engine in, you put the transmission in from the back, and then you have like a little thing that adjusts it to go straight. Because what needs to happen is there are these two pins right here. They correspond with holes in there, so they have to slide into there. And then at the same time, that transmission shaft has to go into these grooves and then straight into the pilot. So we have to have all of that lined up straight. If it's on an angle, it's not going to go in. Even if it's just a little bit of an angle, it'll bind up the grooves and make it really hard to push in.
Luke, did you see the pictures of it coming in the shop?
Yeah, I watched the video.
You didn't.
I didn't watch the part 2.
Oh, part two is that's
Part
where
two
the
has the smoking.
that's where it came in the shop smoking.
Wait, you just released it yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I saw it.
You have to watch
I
that.
saw it.
Free coffee?
Don't forget to, I was gonna say, don't forget to pull that out.
Yeah.
I wasn't just gonna grab it out, but.
There's mixed opinions about putting grease on the pilot bearing. But it's supposed to flip though, isn't it?
I would.
Did you grease it?
I have a lot of those ones, but that was really
Let's
tough
get it
where
closer.
was until I did whatever I did to it.
You guys study this? Please.
But
Look.
Oh, gotta get it.
this isn't that heavy.
Alright, so now if we slowly let it down.
What happened to Nate? Oh, Nathan's underneath.
Yeah. Nate and I are underneath.
Drew, you manning the.
I feel like Dad, you made me shorter than everyone, so I might be underneath the engine. So
I'm watching.
It does have to kind of go around the exhaust manifold there. So just kind of watch for that.
I got you.
Hey, is your insurance paid up if it drops?
He's got government
oh
insurance.
yeah, actually Heather will get basically a free house if this drops my face.
All right.
Oh wait,
Geronimo!
So you have it lifted up with a jack too then, right?
Yeah, you can take that. I think you can take that jack out.
Or at least lower it, or?
Yeah, because I didn't put that in there until. Well, test it to see if it.
Yeah, I would
How bad
not
it
take it
lowers.
out when I was underneath of it.
Yes. Either slide out to do it, or.
My face doesn't look
Yeah.
that anyways.
Yeah, you're
Kinda
going
going
forward
forward,
an angle
Mark.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm kind of pulling. I'm holding it back a bit because you're about.
Pull.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't move at all.
Yeah. So
Alright,
that's
going
that's
down.
fine.
Yeah.
We basically want to try to go straight down in front of the transmission and then straight in. And
I'm
yeah,
pushing it your way a little bit to
You
keep it
have
off
to
of that
because of the
exhaust.
brakes there. You see these lines here? You
Uh-huh.
gotta watch.
Yep.
So we can use the chain to swing more than the jack to move right now, right? Because there is. Phil and I are both pulling this way.
Well, whichever way you pull, we can adjust the jack a little bit.
Yeah.
This way, Luke.
Yeah, you're pretty close. Hold on a second. You're a little high still. But let's get it somewhat centered with the jack. So
way
Phil,
we-
how much are you pushing right now?
Decent amount.
Decent amount.
Which way?
Here, let me just see.
Towards Drew.
Towards Drew?
Hey, Luke.
Yeah.
Can you push on the wheel up towards me a little bit?
The what?
The jack is right by your head.
we're
Hey,
sitting.
whoa, that's good.
Yeah, it's right up in Nathan's armpit, so.
That's good.
That's okay.
All right, down a little bit, tiny bit more.
Yeah, it needs to come down.
How are we gonna do this mount over here? Are you torquing it?
Is it in
A
the way?
little bit.
It is
I
gonna
think we wanna
hit that
torque it like
mount
this
if we
one.
try to slide it forward.
The mount will be in the way if you
What's
slide it forward.
Right now, I mean.
Yeah, this one over
It's
here.
almost, it's just about.
Oh,
lined
you got to
up.
go over that. We got to be behind that when we go down.
So we gotta go
So
forward.
do we need to go back up a little bit and go over it?
How far are we from the
Can
pin?
we, can we jockey it around? We can jockey it around on this one. So if you come over here, around it.
Well, like we're close to hitting
We are hitting the
the
pipes.
spindle or whatever it's called.
Oh,
Like roll it.
you just roll the thing like that, and then we can slide it back.
So once we get the pin, once we get the
Oh.
center in, give it a torque.
Yeah. Well, if we. Yeah. So see how that should get us around that.
Yeah.
Is that an okay place to torque on it?
That should be fine. Do we need to go back or down?
We will need to go down a hair, but not much. And when he torques on it, it does kind of seem like it lifts up just a little bit.
So with this leveling thing,
How are we left and right?
Where-
We want to.
Left and right were pretty close. I think maybe a little bit. If I had like a long screwdriver, I could put it through the bolt hole and try to line it up with
But
this
so
pin.
How about this one, Mark?
The pilot should line it up pretty good.
Yeah. We're really
I'm
close
just
to being
thinking this.
able to just slip it in.
yeah, it's pretty
That's
close.
pretty close.
I can't tell angle-wise, Phil. Can you see the flange?
Marcus.
Oh, okay.
Like, can you
well,
see-
it's starting
Is
to
this
go
one
in.
better?
Are these two facing?
It was just to line it up. I think
It's
that's,
It's pretty close.
good.
Isn't it?
it's pretty close. It almost seems like it needs to rotate just a hair, like
Oh,
this.
this way.
Yeah, that will pass.
So
That
like
looks
that.
good to me.
That looks
That
close
will-
right there.
that'll clear that. Then
So you
down
gotta
just a
go
little.
back out a little bit, and then it has to go. We have to bring the engine up a hair.
Up a hair?
Yep.
Do you want to go up or do you want to pull the transmission down?
We can pull it down a little. Oh,
Ooh, wow. You can use it. You can move it a lot.
Because both of them can move.
Okay,
At this
so
point,
that's
this is,
we're in now.
this is okay.
I'm gonna pull my hand out.
And now we are in,
It'll
but it's not straight on. I'm not.
push.
Which way we got to do this just straight on?
Did the car just roll?
It
Yes.
looks like if the motor could, the front of the motor could tip up,
Up.
to tear a hair.
The front tip up?
Like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems pretty close.
Should we roll the jack a little bit in or not?
So how?
Roll the Jeep towards the jack.
So it might be that we need to put the
Spin it?
Spindle?
we need to spin it. Yeah.
You want to pull it out? I
So-
can spin it a
so
little
we
bit.
can-
Spin the motor or
We
the?
can spin the motor.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, when you spin that, is that engaging the...
Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
there you go.
We got the splines.
those
All right.
spines are in.
So now
I think you need to push up on the.
push around a little bit on the transmission.
Or wait, no, down. Yeah, that's right. We gotta spin it like this.
Seems like it's going in.
You want to change your angle on it, Mark?
Which way would you, do you know which way we got to go on the angle?
The front of the engine could go up a little bit. I mean, I know they can pull the transmission down, but at this point it might be...
Yeah, there we go.
Reliable.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, it's
Ooh,
going
that
in now.
looks really good.
All right. If
Whoa,
it slid out.
Slid out, yeah.
All right.
So, can we roll the Jeep forward?
You want the Jeep
Or
forward?
no, is that going to run over Luke?
You can push the engine
Because
in.
we are really close.
You want me to push it forward?
Push
Like a
forward
half
on
inch.
this thing.
Oh, pull this forward.
No.
Make sure
Push,
Luke's head's not in the way.
push it in towards the Jeep.
I'm out
We're
of the way.
good.
Can you put a hand on it, Luke?
There we go.
Because you're
Further?
right near the you're right near the wheels to pull that in.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can pull it.
Oh,
Wow, that's looking good.
All right. Now look for those pins.
my pin's
The
in.
pins
See
are
the-
in on
it's
my
up- see
side.
the
the
My
pins?
pin's in.
Pins are in.
Or touch it.
All right.
Well,
You guys got it?
The
Hold it.
Side is not all the way in.
Well, it wasn't, and then it came back out. There you go.
We're really
Right.
close. How about that?
That's
Can
it.
I
Does
push
the
it in,
bottom?
Mark?
Does the bottom have any gap or no?
Not in the bolt
The bottom doesn't have
Should I
the.
push?
Yeah, just hold it right there.
Just hold it. Don't push.
Inside does the bolt go?
Is the Nate? Is the bottom touching?
Those are very.
Well, the bottom fill doesn't have the cover on it yet.
Oh, I gotcha. The
Nope.
exhaust is in the way.
Well, does it go from the? It goes from the back to the front, Phil.
Are you sure?
Mark,
How many of those
Phil,
furnace-
Phil said the exhaust is in the way.
What? Mark, does it go from the back to the
No, it
front?
goes-
Which side is started?
It goes
We
in from
came
this
out a
side,
little
Nate.
bit.
Hold on.
The
Hey,
engine
one
side's
at a
The
time.
engine side's started. So it goes in from the back.
Oh.
There's somebody. It's going. The ox.
So the
Did the exhaust go seat in the manifold?
No,
Yeah, it did.
yes it did.
Yeah.
So
he was saying in
yeah,
the way for a bolt.
this
I
bolt
thought
goes
the bolt
there.
goes this way.
This bolt goes there.
It goes there? Okay, I already started threading this.
The other one that you got there is for the top.
Okay.
You know what,
there another one?
Put down at the bottom.
Mark? I don't think we had too many guys.
Wait, we're coming out. We're coming out. Why are we coming out?
This is perfect.
I don't know. Something.
Luke,
It's back.
I'm sorry, I was looking for a bolt.
I gave you one. Didn't I give you a tall one?
It would be nice if we had the jack a little bit closer to the
tall one?
Jeep.
Well,
Want me
that's
to
the
put it
thing.
in?
Well,
Mine
if Drew,
started the thread.
Drew.
Push
We're
it
hitting.
closer.
oh,
We can't. That's why it's pulling out. Is because
the,
it's.
No, you can't reach
the
the
leveler's
top.
hit. The leveler's hit.
Yeah, this is hitting the Jeep, so we just have to keep pushing.
I had it.
Where is that hitting?
Didn't you?
Mark, the leveler is hitting the Jeep.
Yeah, I know. Oh, that's too long.
That doesn't go there.
Oh wait,
That's just wires.
No, it doesn't go
We
there.
still have,
it's
we
hitting
still have
right
a little
here.
bit to go.
It's hitting right here.
Okay.
That's just
Oh,
wires
this.
too.
Then this one goes there.
Okay, so we could move it a hair. Dad, move it just a hair.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Oh, you know what? When it's pitched up, when we
We're
pitch
already-
it up like
at
that,
this point, we're
that's when it
basically already
touches.
in the pilot bearing.
I'm hitting
Okay.
something now.
Yeah, the leveler's hitting the Jeep. This one goes there.
I wonder if we could pitch the leveler
Better.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Go in the top right there.
I have a 16th inch gap between
The
the,
very top or the next to top?
the engine and
Two tops.
We
transmission.
gotta pull this down.
The top? I can't get to the top.
No,
Could we lower this jack
one here,
just a
right?
hair?
We can lower it. Are you guys okay? We lower it a little bit?
Wait, hold
yeah, it
on.
works.
Let me get
We're
my hands out there.
engaged.
We're tight here.
Bottom is tight on both sides.
Yeah, so this will help balance it out and get to access to
Oh,
the
the
top.
thing's
Okay,
caught
whoop,
up.
I'll say that's
Here we go.
The lifter thing is caught up on it.
It's
No,
okay for
it's
now.
all right. So this one, we go a little bit further in the very top, Mark.
Yeah, with those two right there. Yep.
Okay, that worked.
All
Dude, my
right.
hands are all
Not
black.
great.
At the end, we're going to
Feels
take a
like
picture of
smart
all the
one, right?
hands and see who worked the hardest.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna start rubbing my hands on some of the soil now.
I'm assuming this is as tight as I can get it.
Yeah, just kind of, snug it up.
All right.
You got it.
It doesn't have to be super tight because I want to move things around, double check everything.
Oh,
Once we
Mark,
get
that's
it
a
in
nice
good spot.
tool.
What's
That
that?
little
That's
tiny-
really nice.
That's good.
Well, I
You can get it in there like
Now,
The
really
short
small
ones?
spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still keeping a torque on this, but I probably can let that down now.
Yeah,
Right?
you can let that down.
Yeah.
How my fingers catch
So you want these bolts a little bit snugged up?
Yeah, just snug it up so that we make sure that we're tight to the engine. In there, without any of the bolts in it. Maybe try to put it in like this, and then get the bolt through there.
And then we can
But don't tighten anything up. Just kind of get the bolt through, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side.
Yeah, they were stopped in the intersection kissing each other. I couldn't get it right.
yeah.
Don't sit in your car with that coat on. That's look at the back of it. Just look at the back when you take it off. Looks a little bit like this.
You want another donut for the road?
I'm good. I'm stuff from.
Oh yeah.
I'll take care of it, Nate. Sure? Yeah.
The donut.
Throw it over that. Nate, just throw it over that thing right there. I'll just take care of it. Okay. Thanks, Dad.
You need 18 mil, bud. 18 mil socket. Might be right there. No, it's not.
What's the 18 mil wrench? Not a socket.
Might do. I'm always worried about this back one because it's a nut on top of a head stud. I'm always worried I'm going to back the stud out of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you, how can you tell if you're doing it?
It moves.
So you want crane out?
Yep, crane can go.
Yay! Can I drive? Can I drive it now, Mark? Can I drive it now, Mark? Will it start, Mark? Will it
There's
start?
still some work to do.
Look at that. The sheet bent up.
It wasn't like that before.
Definitely busted.
What do you say? What do you think, Pop?
Yep.
Yep.
There it is.
Well, we got the new engine in.
Bud.
And now we're starting to tear down the old one. Everybody's anxious to see what's in it. We don't have the right socket. We can't get the head bolts out, so we'll be back. Well, that went even better than I could have imagined. All of my brothers are pretty good with this kind of stuff, and they came in here and we got this in really fast. Even with standing around and talking a lot, it was still under an hour from on the ground over there to in the Jeep. The next thing that I've got to do is I got to finish buttoning up the inside here. I've already got most of the wiring in. We've got the fuel lines plumbed in. We've got the alternator and power steering pump already in there. After that, my dad took the radiator out and flushed it out, so that's ready to go back in. We are in really good shape. And it is all due to my brothers. They came over here and helped me do this. It went really well to have that many people. It seemed like too many, but it wasn't. I mean, we weren't stepping on each other's toes very badly, and we got it done. So I'm going to keep plugging away at it. I think probably by the end of today, maybe I can have it ready to start, but most likely it won't be till tomorrow or Monday till it's actually ready to drive out of here. But that is really good. That's really exciting. I'm going to throw you guys back up on the hood and keep going and let the time lapse roll and bring you in if there's anything interesting. I'm rapidly approaching the end of my patience for today. Something over here is squeaking and I can't figure it out, but we'll get there. Anyway, I just got done putting the thermostat in. Then I put that last little twist on the bolt and I heard a little snap. And, well, that means that I just cracked the housing. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there, there is now a crack in the housing. So that means that's going to leak. I do have another housing, but I think my patience has ended. I think I'm done. I have to look up the torque specs on that. I thought it was a but it might be a instead of you know what I mean. But once with the way that the RTV works, you put it on there, you smear it, you push it up against it, and then you let it sit for about an hour. And then after it's set for about an hour, you put the torque spec on it. And that's what I did. It was all good. Everything was in there. Everything looked good. I put the little torque spec onto it. And apparently I must have put just a little bit too much into it. And it snapped. So the good news is I have also had it where the back of the casting pushes out into the water jacket. That's a bad situation. The only time I did that myself once, actually. The reason that would happen is if there was water in the hole before you put the bolt in. So usually what's happening is this is filled, you're trying to do a replacement that's coming around and filling in that hole and you don't realize it. I have since learned, take air, blow it out, get it all dry, make sure that it's not going to happen, because if there's water in this hole, when you put that bolt in and you tighten it down, it will push the back of the casting out. The point is I didn't do that, and that's a good thing. But the bad thing is I cracked the housing, and now I've either got to clean up the other one or I've got to buy a new one. Either way, I'm going to walk away from it because I already explained that. It is the next day, and I'm going to try to get that thermostat housing taken care of. I'm going to throw that in the glass cabinet and clean it up real quickly. He's a good doggy. Yeah. Try to get that on and get the RTV setting, and then I also stopped by the store this morning and picked up the size bolt that we need to take the head off. So that's going to be pretty exciting. We will get to see what the inside, all that carnage looks like. I know Harlan's really excited about that. I am too. First things first, let's get this guy in the blast cabinet. Well, I started to media blast that, and it looks like there's a pretty bad pitting on that tube there. So I don't think it's worth trying to salvage this. Next day, this is the thermostat housing. That will replace that. Tiny little hole there, man. Anywho, that's pretty crazy. I can walk into the auto parts store, pick up a thermostat housing for a 30-year-old Jeep, and they have it in stock. Anyway, all right, put that in there, do that. Put you guys back on time lapse. We'll try to have this guy running by the end of today. That's my goal. Hopefully it'll be like a couple minutes for you guys. I'm gonna put the battery on cook so we can make sure that guy's ready to go when we need to fire it up. I started to put the rest of it in, which is the cooling system, the oil. I got the oil in it. It's good to go. But this hose was working. Like, it didn't explode. It wasn't leaking. I just assumed I would be able to put it back on there. But when I got to looking at it, I can kind of see through it. So I'm going to go try to find another one of these hoses. I had one from the donor motor. The guy that sold me the motor gave me the full radiator, hoses, all that stuff, but that one also has a hole in it. I have the spark plugs out and I have the injectors disconnected. So I am going to run it on the starter to get the oil pressure going. I filled up the oil filter. I got the oil filter in there. Everything is connected. Put it in neutral, push in the clutch, run it on the starter, and try to see if I can get oil pressure to build up. At the very least, that should get oil in all of the galleries and anything that might have been dried from it sitting with the oil drained out of it or not running. So that way I can get it all churned up in there before we even try to fire it up. So let's do that now, and you guys can stand here and watch if you want to. Fire in the hole. Well, that don't sound good. We are not getting any oil pressure on the gauge. So, let me get a set of jumper cables and another battery. Then we can see about getting more stuff to it. Okay, it's starting to build oil pressure now. I've got about 10 pounds on the gauge. We got 40 pounds of oil pressure on the gauge on the starter. Okay. This is a pretty tense moment for me. I don't have an upper radiator hose yet. I don't have coolant in it yet. But I got the plugs in, plug wires in, injectors connected. We can test fire this to see if it's gonna start. We can see if it's gonna pop. This is a moment right now. Let's see what we got. You guys watching for me? All right. That sounded not great. Okay. So there might be some smoke in the exhaust jet. I don't know. I think I should get some coolant in it and let it run a little bit and see if that lifter clears up. We could have that. It sounds lifter. I gotta smoke. Sounds like a lifter, I think. So I'm hoping we got full oil pressure. So I think go get a coolant line, put coolant in it, let it run a little bit more, and see if that clears up. I sure hope it clears up. Oh, look at the smoke coming out of there. Can you see that? I gotta get the fan on, get this aired out, and then I'm gonna take a break and then come back. So I'm gonna go get that coolant hose and then come back to this after the smoke has cleared a little bit. All right, we've got the hoses on now. Time to fill it up with some coolant. Oh, we know it runs. I've got the belt on it. I know I have enough room to put the fan and shroud back in it. Once we've run it a little bit, I'm gonna turn the fan on and get the smoke staying out of the shop. And got the radiator hoses in. I got some fluid in it. Got to get it started and start getting the fluid circulated, the coolant circulated. So here we go. It's going to be our first real start and run for a little bit, and hopefully that lifter noise goes away. Okay, the tick calmed down significantly. That lifter must have taken a little bit longer to inflate. I am really happy with this. It is running awesome. It's gonna take a little bit longer to get the rest of this junk out of the exhaust. So we gotta take it for a drive and get it going. I gotta get the fan in here, get the rest of this stuff ready to go, and then we're ready to go for our first drive. That's pretty cool. I hope you're as excited as I am. Let's get to it. I cut and shortened the heater hose. That seems to be working fine. We put quite a bit of heat in the motor. It's really sounding pretty good. I did notice there is a little bit of a ticking noise coming from the timing cover. They can have some issues with the timing cover chain, or the timing chain, or the timing tensioner, but they're non-interference engines, and when they break, you just put a new one on there and go.
Is it in gear?
No, it should be in neutral.
All right. Ready? Yeah.
Just a little tick,
Never bothered me before. It make a lot of noise.
Yeah. All right, make sure it's in neutral. Fire it up. We'll see if the fan works.
What's that whistle? You hear?
It's a new turbocharger. Small pressure. That's the temp gauge. I might not be charging. I don't know.
Hey, Moose. Shift this.
So you probably don't need to be in third right now.
I know. I'm in my second now. Go run block?
Yeah.
Is the muffler bad?
Yeah, it rattles around a little bit back there. Hear it?
No. Feels like a new Jeep, Mark.
It does.
It's never sounded like this. I think it's got more zip too.
It probably does. It only had 3 cylinders before.
No, I think it's got more zip than it ever had.
Maybe. Still putting out quite a bit of smoke.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. We still got oil pressure, got coolant temperature.
Well, that's because all the oil in the
There's all
exhaust.
kinds of oil in the exhaust.
Oh, look at it.
Oh, yeah.
Should I make a longer trip up that way?
Just hit left. We'll want to go back, we'll nut and bolt it, but then we can go for a longer drive.
I couldn't even see behind me there for a minute. It's clearing up a little bit now.
And I just want to check all the nuts and bolts to make sure everything's tight.
Oh, that ran great. It runs like a new Jeep.
Probably want first if you're going to start out from stock.
I got a new clutch.
You do have a new clutch.
All right.
All right, well, that's it. We're going to pull it out and give it back to him.
And thank you, Mark. Good job. That's great.
Oh, it gone. The piston's gone. Oh, the cylinder wall's all cracked. Oh man, that is gone. Okay, look at the pieces of metal in there. The cylinder head doesn't look too bad. A little bit of chipping on the valves. Coolant! Where's the oil? There's the oil! Ooh. There we go.
Yeah, that looks better.
Now it wants to come out. Oh.
There's a seal.
Didn't well paint. There's part of a piston.
There's more.
There's part of a piston. There's your oil ring. There's a ring. And there's another chunk of piston. Another chunk of piston. Oh, there's all kinds of bits of pistons.
Piston graveyard.
Oh my goodness. Look over here. Look over here. There's a piece of piston stuck in the oil pump. Wow. All right. Well, point it over here. With that, that's going to be it. That's it. That's it for this episode of the Malarkey Taylor channel.
Wait, Dad.
What?
We gotta get the thing for the thermostat.
Yeah, we're going to put this part at the end.
Oh.
So, right now, the Jeep's not running yet. But we're going to mix up the order because we're going to put this part of tearing this engine down at the end of the video. So, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode of fixing my dad's Jeep. This is part 3 of a part 3 section. Maybe I won't put this part in because I'm doing a really bad job of it. But this is part 3 of a 3-part series putting a new engine in my dad's Jeep. And that's why we had to put a new engine in my dad's Jeep. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you want to see more of this kind of weirdness, hit the subscribe button and come back for more. We'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, I'll be in the shop.